What's up, everyone? Thanks for stopping by my channel, Esteemed Queen and Mentality. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below so that way you get to know when I post all of my TeaTalks. I hope everyone is doing swell, thriving, surviving, all of that. School's about to let out. No, I'm pretty sure everyone probably knows some of their plans for their summer, but the majority of us, I'm pretty sure we're out here making a change and living out our purpose, right? So, for all my new subscribers, hello, and for all of my returning subscribers, welcome back. So let's go ahead and get into our tea talk for today. I don't care what you're drinking, get your water, get your wine, get whatever it is that you're sipping on, and bring it close. This tea talk is sponsored by my real life. So this tea talk here is something that I feel like we do need to have some type of discussion about, because I think this is a tea talk that not only taught me a lot about myself, it also is something that can help others learn more about themselves as well, depending on what they're willing and what they're not willing to change. But keep in mind that with this tea talk, a lot of times, once we figure out what we need to work on, once we figure out what is bubbling below the surface is something that needs your undivided attention, that's some place that maybe you need to heal, maybe something you need to strengthen, or maybe just honestly just something you need to work on. And it comes through people. Like, you know how they say people come in seasons? They say people come in your life for a temporary amount of time to show you something, to bring something to light, or just to show you a way to move forward. All right, a lot of times we don't really talk about this because we don't want to sound superstitious, and we don't want to sound as if like we believe in something that it's going to be hard to explain to others. In reality, we just need to make sure that we understand it ourselves. So in time, we meet people that we say have better us for the long haul, and we come across people that we say probably made an honest person out of you. Those type of situations deal with what's called twin flames. All right, not one flame, two, bitch, twin flames. And we get soulmate and twin flame mixed up because we feel like if someone can relate to us in the here and now, they must be someone that we could possibly grow older with. This is a person that I can keep around a long period of time. Little do we know, this is where we give temporary people permanent positions, and then when it's time for things to cease and go on their separate ways, we find that it's hard for us to let go. We find that it's hard for us to understand why is things abruptly coming to an end. Why does it seem like this happened out of thin air? Well, it didn't happen out of thin air because, you know, believe it or not, if, say for instance, someone says, you know people when you live with them, all right? And then you notice that the parts of them that you realize like you're not really relating to are the things that trigger you, makes you easily tempered, agitated, aggravated, or very well those may be things you bring to the attention to the other person for them to work on. Needless to say, either you're someone's twin flame or they are yours. And what I mean by that is we all have something to work on. We all have something that even if we can't change certain things, we can change certain things in our lane. All right, that goes to the video of the presets. You know, you need to change your presets if you find that it's not something that you want to deal, tolerate, etc. Now, this is the thing with twin flames. Okay, I know I've had one come into my life to start my healing journey, and I had to look a lot into my confidence, my self-confidence at that. I had to look at my self-esteem. I had to sit down and look at these things and work these things out. unresolved family issues, family secrets. These are all things that my ex brought to light for me. Though he may have had a big family, I have the complete opposite. And even though I don't have a huge family that I deal with, and it's smaller than his at that time, it used to make me angry, but it was only because I just did not know how to close that chapter. So in a twin flame situation, there was a lot of unresolved scar tissue on the topic of family and self-esteem, self-confidence, and a lot of decisions that I made back then compared to the ones I made when I was in therapy has helped me see and understand a lot more about a responsibility or a purpose of a twin flame. Understand that they are not going to be there very long. They are there to teach you, enlighten you, and keep it pushing. They're there to teach you about yourself. They're there to give you warnings, and then they're gone. All right? What you choose to do with that is your business. Now, if we were to flip the roles, all right? Again, I've been a twin flame in someone's life where I have showed them that they have unresolved issues subconsciously. They have unresolved issues. Why does it sound like it's a bee? I'm just tripping. Maybe it's just the air. Excuse me. But I have been a twin flame in a relationship where I have brought certain things to light that I did not notice I put on a table. Because another thing about being a twin flame is it also helps you realize how you want to be treated. All right. And in this situation, as a twin flame, I did not want to be treated with toxicity. And see, this is something that this person is used to. So if this person wants peace, they have to work on that toxicity trait. Otherwise, again, I'm only here for a short amount of time before I move on. You know, at the end of the day, I understand twin flames sometimes aren't going to be your soulmates. They may not really be soulmates, but in order for you to find your soulmate, you have to continue to work on yourself. The thing about healing, the thing about learning, the thing about doing anything different is that learning yourself through life, again, it is not a sprint. It is a marathon. You learn something every day. You discover something every day. You learn something every day about yourself. So when you come across someone who seems as if, like, you know, they're on your level, they understand you, they understand how you felt back then, okay, just red flag, yellow flag, just let it be something in the air, I'm telling you. All right, this person can register all these emotions that you have. These are things that you may want to bring to the surface, bring to a light with a therapist or a coach like myself. And we can work on those things. You can work on those things. So then that way, when you do become a person's twin flame, if it was to happen, and you were to come across someone, you can be the light they need to see the other side. And indeed, there is a light on the other side. You just have to be willing to make it through. Understanding why a twin flame is there and then why a twin flame is gone is a premature lesson that, you know, not a lot of Gen Zs or millennials understand in spiritual terms. But it is true. Just like a physical body walks around, energy and spirit walks too. And if you're unclear about what it is that you need to work on, you feel like you're at a plateau and you don't understand where you are on the map of life, again, a video is called You're Here. I will put in the comments down below. But sometimes you being able to see those things that you need to take accountability for, that's your reset button. Forget the presets. This is your reset. This is your factory restart, bitch. This is how you are able to change your preset is if you heal things that at one point in time throughout life seem to be unhidden, and suddenly you just see it sprouting out of the middle of nowhere, and you're wondering how it got there. You're wondering why you're seeing it now. You haven't seen it before because it wasn't the time. When it's the time, the twin flame will do all these things, show you all these things, and you have to be able to uncover the mystery. Where is this coming from? Think back. Think back. You know, we all move through life where we move so fast, sometimes we don't emotionally register what's going on until it's too late or until we really have time. But by that time, you know, we have caught up to the idea of what has happened, what has transpired, but we're still loopy about when it happened. And that's because time doesn't stop. Life moves on. You'll deal with it when you deal with it. And sometimes it gets so compounded. We find out that we make patterns in things that we don't try to resolve. Okay? We're putting band-aids on things that need whole new installation systems. Okay? And that's because you haven't learned that about yourself until now. So now that you know, don't be fearful of when someone's gonna walk out. Don't be fearful of the last time you see someone who is a twin flame. They are to help you understand you're not by yourself. You can be, but you do have a chance to change. You know, some people are meant for you to see what change looks like, and then there's some people who will show you what you will look like if you don't. The part that's the mystery is the choice. Do you choose to mature and move on, or do you choose to stick with the same things over and over again? Are you accustomed to them? Are you used to them? Are you consciously or subconsciously aware of the patterns that you're setting? Because if you are and you're still doing the same thing, we need to go back to a certain step and see why is there stagnation there. So, if you want to schedule one of those consultations, that information is down below. But in the meantime, in between time, you all tell me, what is the characteristic you've experienced with the twin flame? Did they say that they were brought up in the same environment? Did they say that they feel isolated and abandoned as well? Did they say that they understand how you feel? You know, all of these things, even before you get to the point of saying someone is a soulmate, you need to be able to trust them first. Not love them, trust them. Because if you can trust them, that means you can feel secure with them. And if you can feel secure, then you can feel safe. And if you can feel safe, you can make wise decisions. Okay, all starts with you. So you tell me down below, what have you experienced with the twin flame? And by all means, I read all of my comments. So be sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Fill my cup, hit that like bell, and I will fill yours. We're putting out more videos. And until the next time, I will talk to y'all later.